Hi, my name is Anthony Chafik, and along with me today are,
Serena Fred.
Deanna Khatib.
and Jackson Homan.
and together we're Team 50, and we're here today to talk about Amazon and some of the recent issues their employees have seen due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
So first, we're going to talk about the background of Amazon and its history as a company. And then we're going to talk about the event, which is the COVID-19 pandemic and how this impacted Amazon. And then we're going to talk about the theories, policy changes, and future improvements Amazon needs to make to remedy their issues.
Amazon started off in 1995 by Jeff Bezos in Washington. At this time, Amazon was only an online bookseller and sold and grew very fast. It sold in all 50 states and in 45 countries within its first month of operations. Today, Amazon has over $1 trillion valuation and owns very successful companies like Zappos, Whole Foods, and Twitch. However, it is this marketplace that is causing the main issues of today. Amazon currently has a 44% share of the US e-commerce market, which has only grown rapidly since the COVID-19 pandemic. Since its starting cases in Wuhan, China on December 31st, 2019, the COVID-19 pandemic has become a huge issue for the world. It has spread all over the world, and millions of people were forced to stay home, which some people still are staying home till today. This has changed their buying habits, forcing them to buy online and shop on e-commerce websites like Amazon that have shipped out millions of products every day. This has resulted in their employees working 14-hour shifts and not even having enough time to use the bathroom. Amazon workers also have other fears to worry about, such as their safety from contracting COVID-19. They fear for unfiltered filtration systems, and they also worry about ill workers coming in and infecting them as well.
The first theory we will be discussing today is manifest needs theory. Manifest needs theory states that human behavior is driven by the desire to satisfy needs. There are two types of needs: primary needs and secondary needs. Primary needs are needs such as eating, drinking, and sex. Secondary needs are needs for achievement, affiliation, autonomy, and dominance. And there is also a strong need for feedback with secondary needs. So Amazon workers begin to feel overworked, causing them to feel burnout, and this sense of accomplishment dwindles with the poor working conditions, amount of stress, and pressure on employees.
The next theory is the self-determination theory. It explains what causes motivation and how extrinsic rewards affect intrinsic motivation. There are three elements that are dependent on this motivation. It's autonomy, competence, and relatedness, and extrinsic rewards can create this motivation for everyone. SDT theory suggests that the primary way to motivate high performance for low-skilled jobs is to make performance contingent on these rewards. And for Amazon, they do have low-skilled jobs, including their delivery drivers and their factory workers. Some rewards that will create this motivation for them is fair pay and exceptional working conditions, which are necessary to retain their employees. Also, specifically, their strict time constraints and their poor working conditions are creating the opposite of this sense of reward and diminishing their employee motivation.
The theory of open systems represents the idea that organizations can and will be strongly influenced by their environments. If you look at the diagram on the left, the environment represents where the inputs come from, and then they go through the throughputs process and come out as outputs, usually in the form of products or services. So in the instance of Amazon with the COVID-19 pandemic, the environment would be the pandemic with the increased demand on e-commerce, and that would be an input. And then through the throughputs process, Amazon increased their service level for delivery services, which put increased strain on their drivers and then caused poor working conditions. Similarly, the public outcry against these poor working conditions would be the inputs, and then hopefully through the throughputs process, Amazon will remedy these poor working conditions through outputs.
For policy change, after Amazon recognizes that their employees are not just workers, but also humans who deserve basic human decency, they must begin allocating more time in between deliveries for their drivers to have time to use the bathroom, eat, and etc. Amazon must also review their external communication policies that states that Amazon workers represent the company, and that if they do anything in the media to misrepresent them, they can get terminated. Along with this change, Amazon must also focus on their working condition in warehouses where many workers have complained about unsafe and grueling work hours, where one even stated, "I am not a robot."
In order to prevent a similar situation and improve in the future, Amazon needs to be more prepared for rapid increases in demand. If they suspected this increase in e-commerce, they would have had more employees to be not make those time constraints. Another one is to acknowledge their mistakes. They need to take responsibility for their wrongdoings, act quickly, be sincere in their apologies, and work to fix their problems. This rebuilds the trust and loyalty throughout the organization. Third, they need to make employee satisfaction just as important as customer satisfaction. There would be no business without employees, and they should be treated as a value part of the company. And lastly, they need to prioritize improving their working conditions. Specifically, they need to not deny complaints from their workers and continue to work on their problems.